the Intercontinental Champion for a while, and is slowly just losing pace with the fans. Like, I just don't think he's ever going to get back to the talent he was. But you started off, man. You had AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. After the New Day make this crazy Final Fantasy inspired entrance. Yeah, it was crazy. And then
Shane McMahon and AJ Styles lasted over 20 minutes. That was a great match. I thought.
Straight up,
I gave it an A.
If I'm being completely honest, just straight up seriousness, no jokes about it, I think it might have been one of the best matches of the night.
I think it was the best match of the night.
I think so too. And that was the first match. And it started off perfect. I mean, because I thought, going from last year, I was like, Shane can't fight. Shane can't wrestle. Like, he's a little boxer. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Dude, put up a show.
6'3", 230. Dude is still in great shape.
The dude, just fantastic, was chain wrestling for a while. AJ Styles was surprised. All the fans are going nuts. And they both matched each other very well.
He did the coast to coast. I'm still surprised that man, even at his age, can still do that.
So AJ Styles tried it, and that was awesome how, Shane twisted it around. It was awesome. It was a great match.
It was.
Easily fantastic. One of the best, if not the best of the night. Then you had Kevin Owens versus Jericho. This is a lot of build-up. Over a year of build-up to this matchup. Because they are best friends. So it's like me and you get in the ring. You know what I mean? Let's make it happen. But anyway, so Kevin Owens and Jericho go at it, man. Kevin Owens, best heel in the game right now, dude. Easily makes everybody hate him, and it's awesome. So he did a fantastic job. Retains the title. Gets the title from Chris Jericho.
And he still owed a rematch for his title belt, so.
Yeah, so look out for that.
Could there maybe be a guy that could hold 2 titles at once? We'll have to stay tuned about that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And then one of my favorite matches, I thought, of the night, some people were giving it like a C- grade online. I thought the Raw Women's title match was actually really entertaining.
Great. I thought it was great. I love how they tag team on Nia Jax and put her down for a quick minute.
Yeah.
I actually was very surprised Sasha did not turn heel, though.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that.
I was kind of looking for it, and it just never. There was a moment in there where Charlotte was like, "You two guys fight," and then they kind of.
That might happen tonight on Raw.
I think this is gonna be the biggest Raw of the year, dude. This is it. This is the biggest one.
We might see Sasha versus Bayley
for the title.
For the title next month.
That'd be huge. Huge. And then next you had the biggest pop of the night, dude.
Team Extreme.
So this match was set up as a 3-way tag team ladder match with Lou Gallows, Carl Anderson versus Cesaro and Sheamus versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass, which right now are the most over tag team in wrestling.
Yes.
And then they go in, they're about to ring the bell, and then the New Day's music hits. New Day comes out, and they're like, hey, you know what? This has become a four-way tag team ladder match.
Everyone thinks that it's going to be them.
Because they're
Kofi Kingston's getting ready and everything.
Kofi Kingston, they're already undressed, they're ready to go, throw hands. And then Jeff Hardy's music hits, and the crowd just below. It's insane, dude. If you want to check out more, check out my Facebook video. I have a video of me and my family going crazy. It was nuts.
Or just go on WWE Network, only $9.99.
Yeah, $9.99. Are we sponsoring this now?
Yeah.
It's free for a month.
It was awesome. And then the Hardy Boys, they went on social media afterwards, and Jeff was basically like, I'm 39 years old and I can still do swanton bombs off ladders. I can't believe it. I'm so happy to be home in the WWE. But yeah, they're the tag team champions again.
It's awesome. It's great to see. Also, I told you, for die-hard wrestling fans, I don't know how many are out there right now, but this is the first time I'd seen in over a year and a half or so that Matt Hardy broke his broken gimmick, so look out for that to continue. Usually they're doing the Broken Hardy's gimmick, and they didn't seem to be doing that. Jeff came out in his regular outfit that he usually wears for wrestling in WWE, but they both dress kind of not medievalish, but they're very different at TNA and other places. So look out for it. Hopefully they keep the broken gimmick. I know it's going into to court actually with TNA, so we'll see what happens with that.
We're running a little short here on time, so let's go through this a little quicker. John Cena and Nikki Bella, they defeat The Miz and Maurice, but what was probably the coolest thing about this boring match that Cena finally proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Nikki Bella.
Very cool.
Very cool, because not that I watch reality television, but I know via Twitter of all the crap that goes on that television program, Total Divas.
It happens.
It does happen, and part of their storyline on their reality TV show is that he won't commit to her, so he finally committed to her. I guess so.
Awesome.
So good for John Cena, and then a good match, a great match actually. Seth Rollins defeats Triple H with
hurt.
Yeah,
and he looked fantastic.
He did.
Whatever. Let's see what happens with that. Naomi finally gets her belt back from Alexa Bliss against 5 other opponents from SmackDown. That was kind of a lame match. I expected more.
Yeah, that was probably the worst match of the night. It just seemed forced and didn't really have any. Didn't really have any meat to it. It was just kind of bland and just kind of a filler match. But
Yeah.
very cool that Naomi won the title in her hometown of Orlando.
Yep. Randy and Bray finally went on. I loved it. I thought it was a very creative match the way they had.
It only lasts 10 minutes, though. I was really disappointed
Yeah,
by that.
I
I
agree.
thought it would be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why it wasn't longer. Hopefully they do more with the next pay-per-view, but I love the creativity on the ring where they added like
Randy Orton, 13-time world champion.
crazy, man.
Hall of Famer.
And then the worst match of the night, Mr. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Brock takes the title. Literally, we knew this was going to suck, and it sucked.
4 minutes and 45 seconds.
I don't know why we keep doing this to ourselves.
The Undertaker's entrance and exit
was longer. Like 3 times longer.
Like
than
3 times longer than this match. Goldberg, you're a joke, man. He even went on Edge and Christian's podcast before WrestleMania and said basically, like, I'm miserable doing this. I don't know why I agreed to this. I have to wake up and I have to work out every day and I have to train for our match and I have to eat right. He basically just, he doesn't have the work ethic that he once did, I think. And
Brock doesn't care about the business.
And Brock doesn't care about the business. This match sucked. Like, it was terrible. And neither wrestler truly cared, and it showed. And I'm surprised it almost took 5 minutes, because these other matches that Goldberg's been participating in have lasted 1 minute and 3 minutes,
something like that.
So
man. I don't know.
What a joke.
A lot of takeaways though. So Nikki Bella's married finally to John Cena. The Hardy Boys are back,
yeah.
and champions. And Undertaker is gone, dude.
Overall, this we said last week we thought this was going to be a
6 or a 7.
6 or 7 out of 10. I'd say 8.5. This actually exceeded expectations
Fantastic.
for me. All right, so that's wrestling talk. We're gonna get out of here and play some music for you. We actually went to the Blink-182 concert last Tuesday.
Oh yeah,
we haven't had a show since that concert. Real quickly, your thoughts on that?
Insane. I had a fantastic time. They played Always, my favorite song, and I was going nuts.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, everyone knows that I'm one of the biggest Blink fans to
all you listen to.
To walk this earth. So obviously, I was in heaven. So we're gonna take this music break, and we're gonna give you a double dose of Blink with "Damn It" and "Always." So keep it locked to the left. Right here, we'll be back to talk about the national title game. Don't go anywhere.
What is up? What is up, Facebook Live? What is up? How are you guys enjoying the NCAA tournament? I'm excited. Man.
I mean, it was it was great. What else can I say? South Carolina, the Cinderella story ended there, but Gonzaga, they had the big old white boy. They just threw it to him in the post.
Bro, they're just going at it, dude. They're just going at it.
He held it up like a pumpkin, and he just dunked it. And I was like, okay, this kid, you can't beat him. Now at that point, that's how I knew South Carolina was not going to beat Gonzaga.
South Carolina, dude, the only team to be in the NCAA Final Four and the women's NCAA Final Four,
and they won the women's national championship.
How about South Carolina, dude, taking out UConn for the women's? That was insane.
That girl for South Carolina was Wilson. Yeah,
Aja Wilson.
Aja Wilson. Yeah. She the girl can ball.
Yeah, no, for sure. I got to saw last.
Who's got the top pick in the WNBA draft, because they're about to get an excellent player.
I think the San Antonio Silver Stars. You almost positive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost
the San Antonio Stars. How do they do in San Antonio anyway? I know it's not the Spurs, but
it's not the Spurs, but we love our basketball. I know that I've been to a couple games. They're not as packed, of course, but they're still packed. You can get them pretty cheap and low. It's not too bad, but they're pretty fun.
And we had some technical difficulties with the sound, but according to Brian, it's all fixed now.
Okay, cool. And then also for Facebook Live, Andy Koki asked if we could get a 3-way high five for Facebook Live. So you ready for this, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Everybody ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Boom. There we go. It was
Andy
good.
Koki, that was for you, Doug.
It was great. It was good. So, guys, thank you to my cousin Jeremiah Shaw. Proud of you. I'm proud of you too, bro. He's a photographer based in Los Angeles. We grew up together in the streets. It was fun. I mean, we used to play ball.
In the streets.
In the streets. It makes me sound like I'm being pretentious.
This man is acting like he didn't have a roof and a door.
A roof?
Literally.
That's all you need is just a roof and a door.
A roof and a door compared to the fact
four walls, a roof, and a door. This man had
the one time a year it rained in California, I was screwed, obviously. But no, I remember we used to play basketball in the backyard. I need to kick my backside, and now he's doing well in photography. He's had some things featured in some major magazines. I'm proud of him.
Shout out to Carla Reyes Medina, saying she's glad that her pumpkin made it back in town safely. And then also my boy Eric Spencer Robinson, my first original co-host on the radio, back when we were Big Tex and the Dude.
Big Tex, and I'm guessing
Honestly,
you
yeah,
were
Big
Big
Tex.
Tex.
I was Big Tex, obviously. It was in Oklahoma, so of course my friends, since I was from Texas and I was Big Tex.
Big Tex.
We had some pretty fun on-air nicknames because his last name is Robinson, so we were at one point Fat Man and Robinson. That was a good one. So,
Oh my God.
we had some fun on air, man. We broke Gary Coleman dying on air. That was fun.
Oh man.
How was that fun?
It wasn't fun. It was a good experience.
said
on
that
air.
was fun.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, bro, life is short.
It was short.
life is short.
What you talking about, Jesus?
Y'all too much, bro. Y'all too much, man.
Good times.
I can't even think right now because of y'all. I can't even think.
Jeez,
Can't
bro.
even think
Savage.
straight. Boys.
Zach Brame said, "Yo, who proposed to Nikki? I didn't see."
Zach likes Ras? What?
Yeah, I hope when they do get married that the pastor or whoever marries them is going to be like, and her name is Nikki Cena, and then the music just blares.
I hope so.
Rack 'em.
KTXT with the questions. Okay, Texans and Broncos won't trade for Romo. What do the Cowboys do now?
They're going to release him because that's the only other option.
Yeah, like you do not want that contract.
Yeah, bye-bye, Tony. It's all good.
Bye-bye,
someone
Tony.
will sign the Jets.
By the way, shout out to Zach Brame. Anybody who is interested in the National Hockey League, he's going to be on our show next week previewing the NHL playoffs with me and Arabome. Brandon will just be over there in the corner.
I'll just be hanging out.
He'll be hanging out looking pretty.
Yeah,
So
always.
Just like I was in a wrestler.
and giving me some crap about how he's a Blackhawks fan when he
Go Blackhawks.
he doesn't know more than two players on the team.
And the what is it? The Colorado Avalanche, right? Yeah, good
The
Avalanche.
San Antonio, what's their name?
The San Antonio Rampage. feed into the Avalanche.
They feed into the Avalanche.
That's
I
what
did
I'm
not know
talking
that.
about. Yeah, we just figured that out. So that's like my second favorite hockey team. now.
Congratulations, bro.
Fantastic.
Welcome to the
So
hockey
yeah, Zach
family.
Brame's going to be on the show. So yeah, be sure to tune in for that. It's going to be fun.
Zach Brain just said he thinks Romo is going to sign with Fox Sports. How about that? That'd be awesome.
That'd be
And he also says dead last Avs, talking about also the dead last San Antonio Silver Stars.
Bro, good old Avalanche. Let me tell you.
The
Hey,
Avalanche are last place in the NHL, so they're going to get that number one.
That's right.
Probably.
Because I've been a fan since day one.
Yeah.
Day one.
who's
which was last week.
Who's their greatest player? Let's quiz. Who's their greatest ever player? No Google.
Who do you think?
Joe Sakic. Absolutely.
You think Joe
Dang
Sakic?
it.
I do
Yeah.
like Joe Sakic, but there was another player that I was thinking of.
Peter Forsberg.
Peter Forsberg.
Yes, that dude.
They
Solid
both are in the
guy.
Hall of Fame now, and I love both.
Solid guy.
Peter Forsberg was a beast.
I actually have seen people rock like Avalanche jerseys in San Antonio, but like not many. Maybe like 2 in my lifetime.
Yeah. Maybe you should be the third.
You should be the fourth.
Oh, I just go get a retro.
No, you should absolutely be an Avalanche fan. So when they do get
You're
really
just
good,
saying this because you hate me being a Blackhawks fan.
that is true. That is also true.
That is true, but the Blues don't like
Blackhawks
the
like
Avalanche.
Yeah,
that much.
they're still in the Blues division. You can still hate on the Blues. You just won't be a bandwagon like Zach Brame.
I don't hate on
The
your
Blues.
Blues.
The Blues. Okay, let's.
Just kidding, Zach. I know you're not a bandwagon.
I gotta ask a question about the Blues, man.
Dang.
This is the most.
bandwagon.
It's the most perplexing franchise. Like there are a few franchises in sports where like they do everything kind of sort of right, have a dip, and then they still never make it far enough, or they come really close but never get there. Capitals, Blues, Phoenix Suns. I can't Mariners historically, and
Sure.
then in football I can't think of anybody right now. But they're that kind of team where they can go. Would look like they can go far, but they never go far.
I just really hope that that Matt Duchene can just shake this slump he's in, man.
Matt
He
Duchene?
knows names.
You don't know who that
He
is.
knows names.
Hey, who's Gabriel Landeskog? Do you know who he is?
Is he a goalkeeper?
No, he's not.
Yes.
The
he is.
former Calder Trophy winner. He is one of the Avalanche
wait,
best
who?
forwards.
Don't-
The what?
don't be
what
dropping-
trophy
The
winner?
Calder Trophy winner.
Don't be dropping
Oh,
trophy
there
names
you
out
It's
go.
there.
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just called the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's called the Calder Trophy.
What kind of thing is this?
The Hart Trophy is MVP.
We're gonna teach this man hockey,
The Art Ross Trophy.
but we
is
gotta
leading scorer.
we gotta get out of here.
Yes.
We're gonna come back. Go
Blackhawks!
We're predicting the college basketball game that's tonight. So stay tuned.
You're too much.
Blackhawks over it.
KTXT, the Raider 88.1. I bet you thought you were about to listen to a third Blink-182 song, but just kidding. It's just our music bed. You're listening to the Overreaction, the best sports talks show that you need here in Lubbock, Texas.
Was that our late April Fool's joke?
It was our late April Fool's joke.
The latest.
The latest.
Man, oh man.
So late. Tardy.
Stop. Okay, please, let's just get to this. Stop.
Hey,
Aaron.
we're still quizzing you on your Avs fandom. You said Matt Duchene, so at least he got a player.
What's
Oh my
up?
God.
Matt Duchene.
But he's in a slump right now, bro. He's in a slump.
He's been in a season-long slump.
He's been in a slump since
But hey,
he got to the league.
Let's get to the segment.
so rude.
We're talking the national title game tonight. North Carolina versus the Zags, Gonzaga. Who you got? That's my only question, and why?
UNC by about 6, because at the end of the day, the traditional powers always win in college basketball, and there's like 4 or 5 of them. Gonzaga's a really nice team. They got a big fat white kid up front, and he's
Wow.
nice and fluffy. he could ball though. He went off on them boys, bro. I was like, oh my god.
Jeez.
South Carolina. I had South Carolina winning that game because I thought that they could do a little better than Gonzaga, but ultimately, that big boy is big. But I mean, UNC's talented. They probably had like one NBA player, so yeah.
I'm going to say Gonzaga wins. I've been saying North Carolina since the Final Four started, but I'm officially changing my mind. I just like the way they're playing right now. I love their coach. I love the game plan he has. This team is just so loaded. They play so well together. Matchup predictor right now on ESPN, all the experts and fans combine, and according to their power index, they got Gonzaga at a 59% rate tonight.
Sorry,
So-
I like
Wow,
Gonzaga.
really?
No. Completely independent of if I thought they would have beaten South Carolina, which they eventually did. I liked them, but I didn't think that they were going to be Final Four great. But, oh my God, they've only lost one game, and that was to BYU, so here we are.
I think the thing that watching this game, man, is that North Carolina just seems like they cannot shoot the ball at times, like whatsoever, but they can rebound the ball like nobody else.
And so that big walk-on kid shot it.
So Gonzaga really needs to work on making sure they get rebounds because you don't want to give them second chances because they do have talent. Like you said, they are a powerhouse, conference and also a powerhouse just team in general. So I think look for North Carolina to take the win. I'm picking North Carolina just because I did not have Gonzaga going this far at all. So
I had Duke.
To have
Why not, though? They're a 1 seed.
Oh, I agree. I almost did. I had them in the Final Four, and I had to reevaluate my life having all number ones in the Final Four, and I was like, it's not going to happen. So I just took them out. But I did think North Carolina played a really good game against Oregon. So I think
Oregon played a horrible game against North Carolina in the final seconds.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but I think North Carolina hopefully pulls out the win. I think the rebounds are going to be a big issue for either team, whoever wins it.
Well, North Carolina is probably going to win the rebounding thing. They're averaging about 4 more a game. They have that Meeks kid who averages
Kennedy Meeks is a beast.
Yeah, he nearly has 10 rebounds a game. But look at the defense the Zags play. They average. I know they play in a weaker conference, but still,
They're built.
they're a full 10 points less points allowed per game. Their defense, I think, is a lot better than North
They're
Carolina's,
built.
and I see see that going a long way. Kyle Stafford, what do you think? We got 1 for the Zags, 2 for the Tar Heels. What are you saying?
I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. I had them beating South Carolina. I really like what they do. Karnowski's gonna do a good job guarding Meeks, I think, down low and help the rebound. Zach Collins is a tremendous freshman as well for them. I like Jordan Matthews on the wing, also Nigel Williams-Goss. I think North Carolina's got a little lucky here in the tournament with the game against Kentucky. Now, obviously, the game against Oregon where Oregon failed to block out 2 times in a row on the missed free throws. They missed 4 straight free throws to close the game. And it was, I understand Kennedy Meeks missing 2, but then you have Joel Berry, one of your best players, missed 2. So I'm not so complete on North Carolina. I hate, it's gonna suck for them to go back to national championships and lose twice. But I do think Gonzaga gets it done. I think they got the monkey off their back, get into the Final Four, and I think they're gonna bring home the first championship from Mark Few.
I love Mark Few, but the ceiling is the roof, like Michael Jordan said. He actually said that.
Okay.
The ceiling is the roof. Go look it up. Go look it up.
I believe you.
They have shirts. It's the funniest stuff ever. It said ceiling roof goat.
I think the thing to make sure you understand, though, Kyle, okay? I just want to make sure that you understand that every team that Andrew Marks picks just loses in a terrible
That is a
fashion.
fact.
Well, that's okay. All the teams I always pick lose too. So I mean, I was surprised that Gonzaga even won because I picked them to win. So and I picked Oregon. They were only
You
a point
picked South
away.
Carolina, didn't you?
No. Actually, last Monday, you can go back and look on Facebook Live. I actually said,
Look, he's excited. He's excited.
I actually said it would be the Zags versus the Tar Heels. I really did.
I said,
I was finally right. 3rd time's a charm.
God.
So did I.
I said South Carolina.
It's easier to pick out of 14
But-
than 64, I guess.
But then again, I'm used to just, getting it right a little bit here and there.
No, that's true.
I mean, your Final Four didn't look anything like that, guys. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, my Final Four was completely incorrect.
Completely. I had Duke.
I think I actually only had like 2 teams in the Elite 8 correct.
I had Oregon and North Carolina correct.
I
That
had
was
Florida
good.
in the Elite 8, and that was about it.
Yeah. So
Should be a fun game, though, guys.
I'll watch. I'll be there.
Let's talk about this. Did y'all watch any of the women's championship yesterday?
Yeah,
I didn't. I saw just the South Carolina beat.
That was some bad basketball, man. On at least on Mississippi State's side, it's like, good Lord, how these girls make it to the championship. There was like the worst ball security I've ever seen. Turnovers left and right.
You make Dak look shameful.
Yeah,
because Dak was
poor
right
Dak.
there.
It was in Dallas, Texas. Dak Prescott wearing his Mississippi State jersey.
And Mississippi State's the one that beat UConn, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow. So they didn't win the
Nope.
They did. South Carolina won.
I'm proud. No, I love Don Staley. As someone who used to really be into the WNBA, like Don Staley and Becky Hammond, two of my favorite.
Hey, you probably grew up a Sparks fan, huh?
Yeah, Lisa Leslie, the first woman to dunk in a professional game. Candace Parker, love her too. So yeah, I definitely give love to the women's basketball players. But yeah, I'm proud of Don Staley. She got it done. She deserves to earn as much as Frank Martin does, because those guys have worked their tails off.
What was her name? Wilson or the other girl?
Aja Wilson.
Aja Wilson.
Yeah, that girl can.
Girl's tall.
That girl can ball.
That girl can go to work, man.
Is she supposed to be number one pick? Is that
after this tournament? Why wouldn't she be though? I mean, like maybe some girl from UConn. I'm not sure. But
UConn's loaded. Remember that, and they have to play all 4 years. So UConn, stacks on top of stacks.
That is true. Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, there's no one.
So your silver stars, they got lots to choose from this. This is a deep draft of the WNBA.
My silver star's about to get a pick, dog.
About to get a pick.
I'm about to be at the first game of the silver star.
We got about 4 more minutes, so I guess we could kind of talk about how huge this past 2 weeks really for South Carolina was to have both basketball programs in the Final Four.
First time for the men ever, right?
Ever. Yeah. Because the men have never even gone as far as the Sweet 16, and the last time they did that was 1973. That was back in the day. They used to have players from New York, but
like
the women's never been to the Final Four as well either.
Yeah.
Dude, what a huge week.
That's awesome.
Imagine being a South Carolina fan or student. Wow, I bet you was nuts. I would not have missed that game. I would have been like, yo,
there better be a huge parade.
There better be a parade.
Yeah, regardless if they didn't make it. That's a
they need to celebrate both of them. I feel like they should celebrate both of them.
Absolutely.
Let the women have their day.
I feel like they should play a pickup game. Let's do it. Remember, let's do this.
Who's a real champion of South Carolina?
Who's the real best?
Who can yell at their players the most? Frank Martin or Don Staley?
Let's do it.
Hotheads.
Frank Martin is a beast when it comes to it, but this shows you that South Carolina has one of the best athletic departments in the country. We can have 2 teams like this.
They got to get that football team right, but I agree.
I'm not really sold on Muschamp, but they got great baseball program. If y'all know anything about college baseball, I know some of y'all in this room do, then South Carolina is in really good shape when the basketball is good and the baseball is good. So we'll see what they do next year.
Transfer.
True. What are you talking about?
Nothing. I just said something.
Transfer.
Let us know on Facebook Live what you think about this national championship tonight. Who you got between Gonzaga and North Carolina? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Couple minutes here, guys. Did you watch any of the Texas Tech scrimmage that was played out in Frisco this past weekend? I watched all of it.
I had a chance to go to Pro Day before the scrimmage.
Pro Day.
And that was exciting.
Tell us about that a little bit.
That was awesome. It was great. I got to hang out with Ben McAdoo from the head coach for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
He was there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. And then the Texans were there. The Seahawks general manager was there, John Schneider, right?
Yeah.
The 49ers, GM John Lynch. He was there. Homeboy was there. Everybody was. It was a great time. Mahomes threw a 60-yard bomb at the end just for his last pass.
78.
78. My fault. Yeah. And so it was fun. It was a great time.
You had real teams in there because Mahomes is an NFL prospect.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I was surprised to learn that Baylon Brown and Justice Nelson have just decided to quit football. They didn't even participate in the pro day. They have no interest in getting drafted, or they probably wouldn't have gotten drafted. But at least I would thought those two would get invites to camp.
Look out for Tyler Scalzi, guys. He's going as a tight end.
Yeah, and long snapper.
Dude is fantastic. Dude put up 37 reps, 36-inch vertical. Fantastic.
Kind of makes you mad that Tech didn't try him out at linebacker.
Kind of. But
dude's athletic.
This is a sport. This is a sport where you got to have a little bit of skill. I mean, measurables.
Do we have a lot of that on defense?
Measurables, though. I love measurables as much as y'all do, but come on now. Why are you being real, though?
But that scrimmage, though, that is what I want to talk about, is our defense. Shimonik looked good.
He looked fine. Yeah.
He looked fine.
He looked comfortable.
Derek Willies looked good, too, catching the balls from Shimonik. But the defense, especially the defensive line, the Hill brothers, Caleb and Colin, and as well as Joe Wallace, who played a little bit as a freshman last year, I think he's going to start this year. I think this kid might honestly be our best player on defense. That's saying something with guys like Ja'Shawn Johnson and Jordan Brooks and these junior college transfers that Kingsbury's high on. Joseph Wallace, he's only about 5'11", about 330 pounds. Whoa. Dude's a bull. He just rushes the center and guard and gets to the quarterback. Incredible. If you watch this guy on film, he just has a motor like no one.
He's a freshman?
He's now a sophomore.
Oh, sophomore. Okay, gotcha.
He has a motor like nobody else on this roster on the defensive side of the ball, and he absolutely, I think, will start for you at defensive tackle. That's what I took from it. Kyle, did you watch any of the game, and who stood out to you in this spring scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of the game. I had the Tech baseball game on as well. I think Shimanek looked good. I was impressed with the defense enough. I didn't see them give up too many major plays. They actually tackled. It looked like they learned form tackling in the offseason, so I think that was good. It was good to see Kingsbury seem more involved on the defense end. We talked about it. Eric Morris called all the plays for the offense.
And it makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Eric Morris called the plays during the season. I
wouldn't go that far, but
I mean, I didn't think he called. I mean, I know it was a scrimmage, but at the same time, I think it's working. And if it's working, why not just keep it going? If Kingsbury needs to stay more involved on the defense during the season, which I think he does, because when season starts, the defense is going to have some flaws, and he's going to have to fix them. So
you got a point, and that's worked for a lot of coaches over the years.
Yeah.
One that I know for sure of, Jason Garrett. He finally gave up the play calling duties, let Scott Linehan take over for him, and the Cowboys have been a better franchise ever since then.
Yeah, and I mean, even Nick Saban, I know he doesn't coach offense, but on the defensive side, he lets his defense coordinators calls it. He puts his input in. He also puts his input in on offense as well. We saw him yell at Lane Kiffin about half the season last year. But at the same point, if you're the head coach, you have to run the whole team. And at that point, you can't be a coordinator. You have to be the head coach. And I think sometimes you have to step away from what you do best, and you're going to have to learn something new. And I think he's learning something new.
And the defense so far in the first two scrimmages, the one in Midland and now the one in Frisco, so far looks really good. The defense actually won the scrimmage in Midland. So obviously Kingsbury's helping them out, helping to read spread offenses better a little bit. I think it's obviously has some payback there. I think it's working for it. So
yeah, and he's got. I mean, Octavius Morgan's a guy, a JUCO transfer that's probably going to start at cornerback. He was a big time transfer, one of the top. He was like the number 4 overall cornerback out of the JUCO league.
Butler Junior College.
Yeah, and then they have Marcus Coleman, who's going to be a true sophomore. He had a big season last year for Tech.
Douglas Coleman. You're right.
Douglas Coleman. So I think they're okay. I mean, I hope that they can force more turnovers. It seems like what David Gibbs is trying to put forth is somewhat starting to work, but we'll only see when the season starts.
Well, all right. Well, that is your discussion about the national title game for both men and women's, and we also threw in some Texas Tech flavor there. We're going to take a quick music break, and then we're going to come back, and we are talking the MLB season. Currently, the Rangers are still tied in the second inning with the Cleveland Indians. We're going to update you that when we come back, and we'll also preview all of the divisions and who we think is going to take home the MVP and Cy Young. Keep it locked to the left right here on the Overreaction.
All right, coming up, we have Enter Sandman by Metallica, so stay tuned. More Overreaction on the way.
All right, Facebook Live. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Brandon's getting out of here. He's got some things to do, some TV to watch, some wrestling to keep me updated on. So he's off. We're going to have Kyle come in here, just join the discussion. He can stay where he is, and we're going to preview the MLB. I'm really looking forward to this.
Baby, beautiful. We're over here giving, just before our boy Brandon left, we were giving him a little primer on the Colorado Avalanche. Because we need them to.
Because the San Antonio Rampage
are now their affiliate.
For the AHL, so that's surprising to me. Because the Blues affiliate, ours is in Chicago. We're the Chicago Wolves. Chicago and St. Louis is very close together.
Yes.
San Antonio and Denver, Colorado is not close.
But
that's like a 4-hour plane ride.
Who do you want? I was about to say the Phoenix Roadrunners, but they aren't a minor league team anymore, I don't think. Yeah, no, dude, I grew up in a town with the Long Beach Ice Dogs.
Yeah.
If you know anything about the International Hockey League of the late 90s, early 2000s, my first hockey game was that. Next game was a Duck game. My cousin was there. My cousin and I grew up Duck fans because of that.
I mean, it could be worse. Don't I know the Texas Stars, they feed into Dallas, which is understandable. But then like the Houston Arrows feed into Minnesota which is a lot farther than what
they brought back the Arrows because they took them away at first.
I'm gonna double check that.
I think they brought them back because they took them away at first, and they had a team called the Iowa Wild.
Yeah,
no kidding. That's how weird it gets when it comes to hockey. It's much like baseball, where they have the whole
You're right. It's in Iowa now. I'm pretty
sure. Long length minor league system. But yeah, it should be Houston.
They folded in 2013.
Yep, I remember about that. People were very mad.
You're right. It's the Iowa Wild now.
People were very, very mad that they left
because the Iowa Stars was the Dallas affiliate,
and then they moved to Texas and then became the Texas Stars.
Yes.
So here we are. But yes, baseball is around the corner, man.
Little update: Rugi Odor at the plate for the Rangers. You got Kluber on the mound for the Indians. You got Darvish on the mound for the Rangers. Heck of a matchup on opening day.
That's a lot of juice, bro. Juice on juice on juice.
Yes.
Make sure that your boy Odor doesn't be punching anybody though.
Only Joey Bats.
I got you. But Joey Bats, man, that boy is a legend. That's why the Jays are gonna win the division once again. But yeah, that's what I said. But
Zach Braham says, "Give a shout out to the Manitoba Moose."
Hey, Manitoba Moose. After the Winnipeg Jets left in 1996, they came over and they played in the arena. Then they built a brand new arena for them. And then they left because the Winnipeg Jets Part 2, because the Thrashers were a complete and total failure, came out to Winnipeg. So yes, shout out the Moose. I remember there was a guy named Mike Keane, if you remember him. He won the Stanley Cup in Montreal, Dallas, and Colorado, played for them for a long time.
Yeah. But I'm excited for this NHL talk we're going to have with Braham next week, man.
Oh, man, Braham, you better bring your homework.
Because I'm really excited about this playoffs because the East is loaded, especially all those teams in the Northeast. Are just
Toronto's back.
Yeah, Edmonton is back. Calgary is back.
Edmonton came back, bro.
Yeah, and Calgary is a really good team.
You got to tell me about Sam Bennett's a good kid.
Yeah.
You want to know
Monahan, Gaudreau, Troy Brower, my boy Matthew Tkachuk, Big Walt,
Chuck E. Cheese,
Little Walt, as we call him.
Little Walt, because they called his dad
Big Walt,
who played for your team, Walt.
Yeah, Big Walt, and
because he was named after another guy whose name is Walt Chukuk.
Yeah,
Kachuk.
Kachuk.
Yes.
There you go.
Had to breathe, bro.
Get it out.
Yeah, it's all good, man. But yeah, no teams. I'm surprised came back. The fact that 3 of the 4 teams the Atlantic are going to be in are Canadian. That's great because they only had one Canadian team.
Boston's close to clinching, I think, too.
Boston's back. So who
after
else?
a 2-year absence,
Washington Capitals are doing what they do in every regular season.
Is this the year finally for them?
No.
Why not?
Because it never is the year. They have no defense. The goaltender is always shaky, and they're always going to screw up something.
They don't have any hard-nosed defensemen, but they have a lot of skill at defense.
I don't understand, man. This is the NHL, man.
They got Shattenkirk.
I love skill, but even Chicago had to have grit to win championships. You know?
Yeah.
A little bit of grit, but they're too pretty. They're pretty. They have all these. They're too pretty. Yeah. They have all these guys with these foreign names. Your Swedes, your Russians.
Rougned Odor just punched one out of the park. 1-0 Rangers.
Okay. He didn't punch Joey Bats, but he did punch one out the park. 1-0 Rangers sounds great. Yes, the Houston Aeros are dead. Zachary Braham. Yeah, he gave you a little education there.
Education on hockey. I can't wait, man. But the
Ducks made the playoffs.
I'm excited to watch. The Oilers in the playoffs. The Flames. Obviously, I'm always excited to watch my Blues. The Wild are in a huge slump. So, but
they scored more goals than even the Hawks.
Well, we got to wrap it up. That's good hockey talk. But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
KTXT, the Raider 88.1. Welcome back to the Overreaction Show. Mark's Arabome. I'm Arabome. He's Mark's. Brandon just took off, but
we got Kyle Stafford now.
We got Kyle Stafford.
Our baseball guru.
Kyle's in the back. Kyle knows more baseball than 2 of us put together. It's great times. I always love a good baseball guru because as much as the sport has been going up and down in this country for the past few years, baseball's still, in my opinion, one of our country's most hallowed traditions. So with that being said, the starting of baseball season has already commenced. Yesterday was the first batch of games. You watched the Cubs and the Cardinals. You have your Rangers playing. You have the Cardinals playing. Like I said, Cubs Cardinals. My Dodgers are playing against the Padres as we speak. That game is getting a little close and intense. But of course, Kershaw is a killer. And I was listening before I got here. They always say when Kershaw's on the mound, it's like a show. Everyone comes out. So great day for baseball, opening day, and a bunch of markets. Be excited. I know Marks is excited. Andrew, talk to me.
Totally. Basically, this next segment is we're going to go through division by division and basically say who we think is going to win and why, and also who do we have for the Cy Young and MVP award winners, because that's always fun to predict in April, because usually, unless you go the safe route like Philip Arabome and pick Mike Trout, it's likely not going to happen. So let's talk about the AL first. We'll talk about the AL West. Obviously, you guys know where I stand. I think the Rangers are going to win this one for the third straight year. I have them winning about 92 games, about 3 less games than last year, and only because that back end of the rotation still has a lot of question marks. But I love the lineup. I love the bullpen. I love the 1-2 punch of Hamels and Darvish. Nobody really other than the Red Sox can say that they have a 1-2 punch like that at the top of their rotation. So I like the Rangers to win 92 games, and I like the Astros to still make the playoffs at 90 wins. I like them as one of the wild cards. So I have both teams from Texas making the playoffs, but I have the Rangers winning the West. Who do you got, Phil? And then we'll get to Kyle.
Okay, so since we're doing AL West, I'll make it quick. But I have the Rangers winning 96, and then the Astros winning 95. I don't know. I feel like the bottom is going to be...
This guy's liberal with his wins he's giving out.
I think the bottom's going to be pretty bottom. There's going to be like one or a couple teams, a couple divisions going to be bad, but I think Rangers 96, Astros 95, Mariners somewhere in the 80s, and then the Angels are the Angels, so you know.
And the A's are the A's.
Oh,
Mariners will have a decent year, but I think when I put down, I completely predicted the entire West. I had them around like 82, 83 wins.
Yeah,
I see them having a winning record, but just hovering around that 500 mark. They're going to be a positive team, but they're not going to be a playoff team, unfortunately. Again, for Mariners fans. Kyle, who do you have for the West? I know you like your Astros.
Yeah, I do like the Astros right now. I know there's a lot of concern about the rotation. I think the rotation is going to be fine as long as they stay healthy this year. My thing is, I only have one team from the AL West in. I know a lot of people have the popular pick of the Mariners and then one of the 2 Texas teams, or both Texas teams. I think this division is very improved, and it's going to be extremely tough. The A's are a lot better this year. If the A's rotation stays healthy this year, they're going to be pretty talented. And of course, the Angels are better. Again, a healthy rotation will help that team. I don't think either one has a shot at the playoffs, but I think they're improving. Obviously, with the Angels, there's talks every year about is Mike Scioscia, is he going to get fired? Are they going to trade Mike Trout? I think they're going in the right direction, but they're just taking a long time to get there. Their farm system's not very good. I would say I think this division is going to be tougher because it is better. The Mariners are going to be extremely good. That's why I only have one team from that division, and that would be Houston with 90-plus wins. I think all the other teams would be below that, and it's not enough for a wild card.
And for the East and Central, who do you have?
For the East, I have Boston. I think they're the clear favorites in that division. New York has some young guys, but they're not going to be competing, in my opinion, this year. Tanaka got really roughed up yesterday against the Rays. I think the Rays a little improved, but they're not going to be much better. And Baltimore and Toronto, of course, are the 2 right there, but I think Boston has the best team, best rotation, and best lineup in that division. Toronto is a sneaky pick, though, in there. As for the Central, I think Cleveland. I think they're the best team in the American League. So, I don't even think it's close in that division.
I'll break it down for you what I have. I actually have the Indians having a little bit of a AL championship hangover this season. They still win their division, but they only win about 90 games. So I have them winning the Central, making the playoffs. I also have the Red Sox leading the AL in wins this year. I have them at 95 wins. I just love that 1-2-3 punch at the top of the rotation. They got, 3 Cy Young winners now?
Yep. Yeah, they got Chris Sale, David Price, and Rick Porcello.
I couldn't remember if Price won a Cy Young or not.
Price did.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chris Sale has won a Cy Young, though.
I don't think he has, but he was good.
He's always up there for the Cy Young, but I don't think Chris Sale has actually won one.
Well, anyways, 3 Cy Young caliber pitchers.
So I will give you mine. So Central, I couldn't pick against the Indians. They had a fantastic year last year, like Kluber. They got Encarnacion, which I thought was a massive steal. And in the East, funny enough, despite the fact that they got the guy from the team that they beat to go to the World Series, I'm still going to pick the Jays. But barely, because I think Boston's going to be real good. Wild card, I think it'll be a little bit of a battle there between those 2 teams. They both have a lot of things that can go for them, and I have, funny enough, the Jays is one of my the Red Sox is one of my wild card teams, because I think it's just going to be a really volatile season. It's baseball, so what do you think?
My wild cards, I have the Jays and the Astros. I already mentioned the Astros. So to recap, my 5 teams that make the American League playoffs is Rangers, Red Sox, Indians winning their divisions, and then Jays, Astros. I have the Red Sox advancing to the World Series. I just love their pitching just way too much. I love their bullpen. Craig Kimbrell out of the back end of that bullpen, and as well as that 1-2-3 in the playoffs will just be so awesome. And then their 4 and 5 starters aren't bad either. So pitching goes a long way, as we know, and they have timely hitting. They have a lot of former clutch hitters in the playoffs. Pedroia, Hanley Ramirez, and even Pablo Sandoval has lost a ton of weight. I'm taking a chance on the man. I picked him up in fantasy baseball. I think he has a bounce back year. I'd like the Red Sox to win the American League this year. Who do you guys have?
So I have in order, I think it will be the Rangers will have the best record, then the Jays, then the Indians will win the Central, and I have them having a slump like you said. The Astros and the Red Sox are the 2 teams. I think the Red Sox have enough firepower to go against the Indians in the ALCS, and I think that ALCS game is going to determine what happens. I'm going to flip a coin and say the Indians because they had a great year, and I think they have a really good staff, but yeah.
According to my format, though, I have the Jays as the wild card and the Red Sox as the best team, so they would face each other in the ALDS. I think whoever theoretically would win that series goes on to the World Series. Mm-hmm. I think they would go through the Indians and Rangers pretty easily, actually, because I just love that top 2 of the rotation also the Blue Jays have of Sanchez and Stroman. Awesome.
No,
awesome.
The Jays are loaded, dude. Don't
forget about J.A. Happ with the Blue Jays. He had 20 wins last year.
Toronto, you're blessed. Man, Toronto's blessed in sports.
And then you got Estrada in the back end of the rotation. Yeah. Their rotation is stacked.
No, Toronto is blessed. They're going to have a great sports year in 2017. Raptors good. Jays great. Leafs could be in contention for a cup, but yeah.
And one last thing, MVP Cy Young. I actually have Kyle's boy Jose Altuve stealing it from Mike Trout this year. Finally,
oh, right. I think he should have won it last year, but
he should have won it last year. I think he finally wins it this year. Guy does it all on defense and all stats on offense, categories on offense. Dude's incredible. Love watching Jose Altuve play. I think he wins MVP because I think the Angels are going to be pretty bad. And I think finally they're going to give it to a guy who actually helps his team win. And I see Jose Altuve doing that. And then Cy Young, you can say this is a little bit of a homer pick, but I don't think it is. He's in a contract year. Yu Darvish, he's fully healthy. He's now, 2 years removed from Tommy John surgery.
That Rangers,
I think he could lead the league in strikeouts, and I see the Rangers giving him enough run support that he wins 18 or 19 games, and I see him as a Cy Young winner.
That Ranger blue is starting to really bleed in, boy.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, absolutely. MVP, I'm picking Trout. I think he's the best talent in the sport. The Angels are a mess, and I don't know why they haven't let Scioscia go at this point, like you were saying, Kyle. But ultimately, I think Trout's still one of the best talents in baseball, and he keeps proving it year after year after year. The team has to step up, and the fact they have no minor league system is really a problem. Cy Young, I'm gonna pick Sale because I haven't really followed the Red Sox like that, but from what I hear, he's really good. So that's why I stand on that.
Chris Sale is some of the best stuff in baseball, and now he's going to have run support. Watch out.
Oh, my God.
Kyle?
Yeah, well, real quick, I'll give my order. I think Cleveland finished with the top spot, then Boston, then Houston. I have Toronto and Detroit as my 2 wild cards. I think Detroit will make the final run with Verlander, Miggy, Victor Martinez, Ian Kinsler, all those guys, Justin Upton. I think they make a run. I do have Houston over Boston and Cleveland over Toronto. I like Cleveland to beat Houston, make it to the World Series once again. As for my AL MVP, Carlos Correa, he had a tremendous World Baseball Classic. I think this is his next step. He had he didn't really have a setback last year, but he wasn't what people expected. He still had a tremendous season. I think his home run numbers are going to go up, his average will be there, and his RBIs, because there's going to be so much more talent behind him, so pitchers are going to have to pitch to him more, because now he's going to have Carlos Beltran behind him, different hitters in that lineup that are much better than what he had in the past. I think he's going to have a big year. Corey Kluber's my Cy Young. He's the best pitcher in the American League. I know people like Chris Sale. I just think Corey Kluber's the best pitcher.
All right, let's blow through the NL here because we only have about 5 minutes here left in the program of the Overreaction. NL West, I like the Dodgers. The roster is really good. 94 wins. I don't think they get really too close to the 100 win mark. They're not that great, but I see them winning enough games to win that division. Give me them out of the West. Central, I like the Cubs. They'll lead the NL again. I don't think they get over 100 wins again. I think there might still be a little bit of championship hangover to start the season. Give me 98 wins for the Cubs. And in the East, I like the Nationals, and they're ultimately going to be my NL champion pick. I like them to win about 95 games. Wild cards, I like the Cardinals and Giants. Both teams have nice rotations, good enough lineups. Madison Bumgarner, if he pitches like that all season long and hits like that all season long, had 2 home runs yesterday, Phil. 2 home runs.
But they don't have a bullpen.
I'm built to hate.
I mean, I know they got Melanson, but he blew it.
Which is why I only have the Giants sneaking in at 90 wins.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my 5 teams for the NL, and I have the Nationals beating the Cubs in the NL Championship Series. And then my MVP, give me Nolan Arenado, who I think actually, for my money, I know you like Trout. I think Nolan Arenado is the best player in baseball. I really do, both defensively and at the plate. The guy is unbelievable. People just don't know who he is because he plays for the Rockies. But I think they're going to be the talk about this year because they're going to have an improved team. Their lineup might be the best in baseball.
They're a sneaky wild card team.
Yeah, they might be in there, and I'm kind of having some doubt not putting them in as one of my wild cards. But give me Nolan Arenado as MVP of the National League, and Cy Young. I had a tough time with this because I really like guys like Bumgarner, Kershaw, Carlos Martinez, Johnny Cueto. There's so many good pitchers in this National League, but I had to go with Max Scherzer. And the reason is because the guy seems like every 10 outings gets a no-hitter. Who knows? He might have another one this year. I see him winning with how good their offense is going to be this year. I see Scherzer winning close to 20 games, striking out a ton. ERA will be low enough. He's going to be my Cy Young winner.
No, Scherzer's a good choice, but let me run through the NL for you. Nationals in the East, Cubs, I have them winning the most games. I think they're just too loaded, dude. They may have lost Fowler, but they got a lot of talent left there still at the end of the day. My Dodgers are going to be the worst of the 3 teams that make it out. They're going to win the West. Cardinals and Mets, because I think the Cardinals are loaded. They got Fowler. And the Mets, they still have some of the best pitchers in the game. I like Syndergaard. Kershaw's my Cy Young guy. Seager's my MVP because I think both of them are going to rise up. I think Seager's going to have that
Homer
hardcore, but with Seager's going to have a jump here because
Seager was in the voting last year as a rookie.
He was indeed. He was. Seager's going to have a breakout
home run
year
today, by the way.
Exactly. I heard. And Kershaw, he's the best pitcher in the game, and I can't pick against the best pitcher in the game. It only helps that he plays for my second favorite sports team and my favorite baseball.
So who do you have out of the National League?
Out of the National League, I have the Cubs coming out again. I think it will be a rematch at Indians-Cubs. People say it's too cliche to pick the rematch of the championship, but I really like it. If it's not that, it's going to be Red Sox versus Cubs.
Okay. Kyle,
real quick, I got Washington out of the East, Chicago out of the Central, Dodgers out of the West, St. Louis and the Mets as my 2 wild cards. I like the Dodgers to beat the Cubs in the NLCS. I think that pitching rotation is extremely good with Kershaw at the front end, Rich Hill right there, and Kenta Maeda. I like those 3 guys. Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Adrian Gonzalez. That's a really good trio right there in their lineup. As for MVP, I'm gonna go with Chris Bryant again. I think he has a lot. He can still improve, and he had such a good year last year and can still improve. And obviously, I think Clayton Kershaw and Cy Young. I think it's a joke sometimes if he doesn't win it. I know there's a lot of good pitchers, Syndergaard, Mad Bum. I know you talked about Max Scherzer, but I think Clayton Kershaw.
All right, well, that's your MLB discussion. Let us know on Facebook Live who you have going to the World Series and who you have winning Cy Young and MVP for both the leagues, the National League and the American League. That's going to do it for us here today on the Overreaction. I know we cut it short. We'll be back next week to talk sports for a full 2 hours, we promise. Until then, keep it locked to the left and have a great day. We'll see you next time.
And also, that steak.
Yes.
Why is that not playing?